Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, this practicing meditation is a way that we, using the self-observation, we develop the self-transformations. So, it is very necessary because somehow our life going to be transformed to something. It will happen all the time. It all constantly happening. So rather than it happen according to our mental formations and the environment, if you become mindful, if you develop your observation, and then you can lead it to the place there, wherever it should be. So that's why we keep as our final goal or as our final destination the Nibbana, enlightenment. Why? Because that is the ultimate, the happiness or the ultimate place that we can reach as human beings. So in this very lifetime, when you have this human life, it is where you have good opportunity to get into that more than any other living beings. So then you are in a kind of like a 50% complete the journey. So you are inherent with that nature. So then only thing is what? You have to drop some unnecessary things and make clear inside you. So once you clear that inside, then it will help you to get into the highest. So far you came in this journey and you have no idea maybe how difficult it was. Forget about the previous lives. Just even in this very lifetime, from birth to this moment, this point, how difficult it was. And what a risk that you had sometimes, knowingly or unknowingly. And how many things went up and down, and how many things went the change. So just see that, but even you didn't die. You know there are a lot of people already gone. And the people used to be in the world like the big people. Not like, you and me, this small people. There were big people, but they all gone. They cannot do anything anymore. Alexander the Great, the great Alexander conquered half of the world. Genghis Khan owned most of the land in the world. King Asoka from the history. From there, then in this world, and the people used to hold the power and became the presidents or the kings. It's all gone, even during your lifetime. How many people already gone that they used to be with you? And your parents, friends and family members. But the most important thing, recognizing that, and maybe when you see that things, when you hear that things, it feels sad, kind of like, they all gone. But at the same time, it giving a light to you. What is that light? Hey, remember, you are still alive. That is the important point that you have to remember. Why? Because anytime you can die. So far in the journey, you didn't die. Many things happen. How many wrong turns that you took on the way sometimes. It is one-way journey. It says, even though it is a one-way, you always have to look left and right. But sometimes in our life, even in the double lines, we don't care. So without putting signals, sometimes how many times we change the lanes, but we didn't die. So then what you get out of that benefit? So it's a kind of like a gift you having, it's like winning a lottery all the time. So out of that winning, what you gain? The misery, the same unhappiness, same unsatisfaction you claiming every day? No, you have to claim something higher, because you won kind of like a lottery so far in this journey. So then use it. So this life is kind of like a benefit for you to get into the highest level. And there are unseen living beings, and seeing this world, even above the heavens, the angels sometimes seeing this world, and they are waiting to get the opportunity to be like you. But you already have it. But you don't see the value of it sometimes. We just take down, we abuse this life sometimes. And we sometimes play with this without knowingly that how precious and how beautiful and how valuable this and what we can get out of this all. So then practicing meditation is a transformation all the time you develop inside you, because it is necessary. Without that practice, you cannot get into that. Just itself, it's not going to happen. If it is happen, in the history, we had many lifetimes. But in this environment, it is impossible. So that's why we have to practice. Otherwise, it is okay. But in this kind of environment, in this kind of life, very limited time with the age even. And we cannot just think, oh, it will happen anytime. We cannot let go like that. So we have to keep practice. We have to give some times for that. So that is important. That is the very, the important point that you always have to think. If you don't do it, it itself not going to happen. Maybe because the wisdom never going to come out of the luck. Maybe you can become a millionaire tomorrow out of the luck, but the wisdom never going to come. It like this, that it says the difference in between the brown sugar and white sugar. The great scholar, the Nagarjuna, told this example. The difference in between the brown sugar and white sugar. By preaching, by writing books, giving lectures, you can spend eons, but still. But getting a little bit to tip up your tongue and experiencing, and that experience never going to be equal to eons of teachings. So then think yourself. So we have all the teachings and the Dharma talks and everything around us today, more than any other time. We are so blessed to have that all today. So, but still, if we don't apply it to our life through practice, we cannot get into the bottom of that teaching. So especially when it comes to mind. So then always remember, give some time to yourself. Do whatever you do, somehow you're going to do it. And we have to have a life. It is okay. Just keep going with it. Whatever the life that you have, because you are the one who know what it is. So keep going with it. But at the same time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whenever you have time, little bit, give, just to sit. And you no need to believe anybody, you no need to repeat anyone's names, you no need to get any pictures, you no need any statues. So then what you have, just observe your own inhalation, exhalation. Give some time, give some peace to your mind with how, just let it be a little bit restful, because all the time thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. Give your heart a little bit rest rather than always firing, firing it up. So that itself bring kind of like the opening space to enter to this path of wisdom. So it is very necessary as human beings for you. Why? Because that is the most highest thing that you can gain. So in that path, so as we always know, there are two things, conventional life and eternal life. So this both we have to develop at the same time. How you both develop at the same time? So it like this, in conventional life, you need certain facilities, longevity, good health, comfort, strength, and wisdom. Those are the 5 qualities in conventional life you need to maintain that. Longevity, good health, comfort, strength, and the wisdom. In the spiritual path, there are some other tools you have to develop. And in that path, the first one is the conviction or the faith. Another one is the effort. Another one is the mindfulness. Another one is concentration. Another one is the wisdom. So those are the 5 things in the spiritual life you have to develop, and the conventional life and some. So there are 5 things conventionally belong and spiritual. So when you look this both paths, there is one thing similar to both. That is the last one, the wisdom, panya. To have a conventional life and have eternal life, you need this. And it's like, you cannot, it kind of like, you cannot let go one thing and just hold it only one. So in conventional way, longevity, that the comfort and the complexion, the strength and the wisdom or the panya come always out of giving, not by praying, asking or something like that. It always come out of giving. So your conventional life become more successful when you able to share your life with these 5 qualities and giving these 5 qualities to others, facilitating to others. And that way your conventional life going to become more comfortable, giving, facilitating, providing for others, not holding to you. But in the spiritual life, faith or the conviction and also the confident, the effort and the mindfulness, awareness, panya. So these kind of things always come out of the developing from inside you. So conventional life becomes successful when you give to others, And the spiritual life becomes successful when you develop it within yourself. So that is two different ways. So as example, conviction or the shraddha, confident. So you cannot give it to others. It is you have to develop as a mental quality. The effort itself, you cannot give it to others. And even you cannot get it from somebody. You have to develop it within yourself. And the mindfulness, you have to build it within yourself. The awareness, you have to build it within yourself. And the wisdom, you have to build within yourself. So that's why self-observation go to self-transformations. So then when you look for the spiritual qualities, you cannot ask. By asking, it never going to happen. The asking liberation, asking nibbana, asking wisdom, it's not going to happen. It always cultivating. And so the conviction doesn't have any help. Out of only the conviction it has help. The faith doesn't have any help from outside. The faith only have the relationship with the faith. So then when you want to develop the faith, just develop the faith. That it cannot develop by something else. And the effort, when you want to develop the effort, always have the effort. That is the only way to develop the effort. And when you look for mindfulness, always be mindful. And when you develop the awareness, always be awareness. Be aware. So that will develop the awareness. And when you want to develop the wisdom, always be wise. So this is how it develops. It cannot develop by something else. And when it comes to the conventional life, that longevity, the longevity doesn't come out of giving something else. The longevity always come to you by giving longevity to others. And the comfort never come out of giving something else to others, only by giving the comfort to others. And the strength, it never come out of giving something else. It always come out of giving the strength. So then always remember, recognizing this is very important in day-to-day life, in conventionally and eternally, because if we mix this, and sometimes then that we go in a different way looking something else. So that's why even seeing this, understanding this is the open path. It creates the space for you to enter to the wisdom. Understanding this itself becomes the wisdom. Because sometimes looking for longevity, and maybe you can pray, it's not going to happen. So there are some people, they pray 24/7. They are kind of like masters to pray. So then they should live longer. No, maybe they die sooner. But in the journey of this samsara, then remember yourself that no any power can repute something else. Only get the power reputed by that's own power. That is the beauty of the Buddha's teaching. That there is no any other No any other teachings that talk about this. If you look, you will see. Because the confident get empowered just by facilitating to the confident. So in the spiritual path the same, conventional path the same. So then remember, when it go to conventional life, that is so spiritual life, so the same method you have to use. What is that? If you want the longevity, you have to give the longevity. So in the conventional life, giving the whatever you want, if you able to give, you're going to get it. And in the spiritual path, whatever the mental quality you want, and you have to develop it it yourself within your own mind and to get it to your mind. So again and again, when you keep going in this path, and then you see little by little you closer to your liberation. So this is all called practice and doing it, just not holding it as a knowledge or wisdom, just doing it is very necessary. So there was a monk, this Tibetan story. There was a monk that he used to go to a mango tree and in the Himalayas, and he used to practice meditation. And every day he come and sit and practice meditation. And in that mango tree, there was a naughty angel. And she was looking this monk come every day and practice meditation, close his eyes and don't move. And he go to samadhi and stay there. And then she thought to see how his meditation, how his that mind. So what she did, she picked a mango and drop, and it came to his head, but he didn't move, and he practiced himself. And then the next time she took another mango and dropped, and that came to his shoulder, but that also didn't disturb him. He was okay. And then the next mango she dropped, and it came, and he was practicing like this, it came to his thumb. And then he opened his eyes, stand and start to look here and there, and he came out of his meditation. So now angels start to look. What crazy monk he is. The mango fell down to head. He didn't move. And the mango fell down to his back, shoulder. He didn't move. But just the finger. And the mango came down to the finger, and he gave up his meditation and start to look here and there. Now she was thinking, and she caught up with her mind, and now she having question. And sometimes, the nature of these naughty people, when they are caught up with something, they are very tough, disturbance. So what she did, she came and she appeared as in a human form and came to the monk and asked, I have a question. I'm the very first thing, and I want to apologize what I did. So I'm the one who did drop these mangoes. Then the monk was silent and asked, I have a question. So the first mango came to head, you didn't disturb. The second one, shoulder, you didn't disturb. But why, when it come to your thumb, why you get up? Why you give up your meditation? So then this monk told, in physical world, the thumb is the most important thing. The thumb decide you going to be your own or you going to be slave to somebody. And as example, in the ancient time, people used always to earn money, their labor, they work hard. And especially when it go to war, so like that, to use the weapons, use the sword, it is especially need the thumb. So as a punishment in the ancient time, they used to cut the thumb. And if the person won't make them the person weak. And even the archeries, when shooting arrows, it always need the thumb to get the right target. And so it's like for the snipers, this finger. So in the ancient time, people used these things and always the tools, and to hold that it need the thumb. So the thumb is very important. Why? Because it decide you're going to be your own or you're going to be slave in physical world. And that, as you know that Angulimala, who collected 1,000 finger garland, and he used to cut the thumb. So what is that? Because it's a kind of like you put people to slavery. And from the ancient time, still it is happening, even though they don't cut the thumb finger, and people like other people become slave to them. And they go and behind and worship and always behind become a follower. This is a human mindset. So somehow this monk explained. So in the conventional life, longevity, good, the comfort, complexion, strength, and the wisdom, and this all hold your conventional lives together. And also in the spiritual path, the faith or the conviction, the effort, consciousness, awareness, and the wisdom, this all hold together. So the same like that, this everything hold together by the thumb. The wisdom is the very necessary. So the thumb is the representing the wisdom. So that's why when we agree, it's a kind of like we thumbs up. If we don't like, we go thumbs down. So the monk told, if anybody disturb your thumb, that's mean it can affect for your conventional life, and also maybe it is a sign that it's come to disturb your spiritual life. So then yourself always remember, you have to be strong in this both field, conventional and spiritual, this both. So it's kind of like to develop this both paths, make a strong this both paths, and this both the paths come together if you able to develop the wisdom. So always then in day-to-day life, see, whatever you do, wherever you go, what it's in whatever the way you develop your life, always remember to end up being the wise. Never let anything to make you fool. So that is your effort should be every day in every way. So that way your life every day will transform little by little, little by little with your own effort. So with that, I bless upon with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbidyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata chammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanudantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahan hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.